Hey everyone, Chris from the R&D team at Works Plus. We're here on site this week with Yarrod, Dylan and the crew at Y&D. They're testing out the GK700 on a residential slab. We've got rammed earth walls, stud work already in, so it's going to be interesting to see how the GK holds up in a nice tight space. Let's see how they get on.
I'm Yarrod from YDPC. Yeah, been in the industry now for nearly 10 years actually, so been around a while, made a fair few mistakes, and here we are. We specialise in a lot of residential homes with the occasional commercial job, depending on where it is. So we've got a crew of 5 now, so it's me and my brother Dylan, who's the business partner. We started up the business nearly 10 years ago now, and slowly worked our way up. So now we have Jack and Connor giving us a hand as well. And the old man comes in and gives us a chop out when we need to call in the big guns. So this is quite a high-end residential build. You can see the rammed earth walls. There's been a slab that's been poured, a topping slab in between all the frames and everything. Yeah, and you can see by the floor, they've done a fairly average job. So we've just started grinding today with the 30 grits. We've got to take off quite a fair bit of stock to try and get it flat, especially up against the edges, and get through a lot of the screed marks in the surface and get down to that full exposure grind that the clients are asked for. Yeah, pretty impressed so far. We've just chucked the double mediums on it to start, and they're probably running a little bit richer than what we're normally used to, and it's just literally just cruising. We're grinding off a good 5 to 6 mil easily, like it's only running at half capacity. So yeah, it's quite a nimble little thing. It's quite short. It's obviously taking a little bit to get used to the controls, as you'd expect, being a completely different machine to what we're used to with the but already just the joystick function on it is just really easy, and I'm already getting quite smooth at it. So yeah, I could picture a couple of solid weeks on this machine and to have it well and truly worked out. Yeah, we pinned it up against the 680, both with the same diamonds, and yeah, this thing, was well in front and only running at half capacity. So, and the 680 we were wringing its neck off to keep up, and it still blitzed it. So yeah, really stoked with the production side of things, and we're looking forward to see, the end result. We got the machine for a few days, so we can get this all polished and do the whole process and see how we go with it. It's just smooth. I'll say that, it just grinds so smooth. It doesn't move around. It's quiet. It feels really stable and strong in the concrete, taking off a good 5 to 6 mil with the 680, it does a fair bit of wobbling around and carrying on, whereas this is just crunching through it really easily. The feature, like I said, I do love the joystick and just the way the head goes down and up by itself, and you can take the weight on and off the machine. I think that's a really big plus, and it makes it a lot easier to pick up and manoeuvre as well when you need to. We've got our 60 kVA generator, which we can crank up to 60 hertz, 480 volts. So we've got a full plethora of power going into the machine, and yeah, it seems to be it's just cruising. It's really just doing this easily. Going into that walk-in pantry now, it seems to be fine. It's obviously a different setup to what I'm used to, so I'm not as smooth as I'd like to be, but it's quite compact. It's not long like the new. It's actually quite compact. Yes, it's a bit higher, but if you want to trade off the 2 lengths, you always want to be shorter that way. And yeah, it gets around the corners, no worries. It's been really easy to manoeuvre through that quite tight through there, and I've had no issues so far. Haven't hit anything yet, so that's a bonus. Just, stoked we got the opportunity to have a crack with this machine, and really excited to see what, the floor we can produce, because this floor is very average. So we're excited to see what we can do with it, and see the end result in a few more days. Yeah, we're getting there. It's been a bit of a battle, if we're going to be honest.
It's a slow process in this weather. What did you say it was?
10 degrees.
10 degrees,
cold,
rainy, perfect polishing weather.
Concrete's pretty average, so it's required a lot of extra work. But we're on top of it now, so we're just about finished with the 1500 resins, and then we'll pad it and seal it and buff it tomorrow. So, yeah, it's taken some work, but we've got there.
Yeah, it's grouse. It's like Yarrod said earlier, you know, the joystick, it's got a lot of good functions.
The GK 700s has been quite good. Obviously, all things considered, it's a new machine to us. So, yeah, as we know, we're polishing with a brand new machine, so it's obviously going to take a bit longer than normal. But in saying that, compared to other machines that we've operated, using it the first time, it's actually been quite a versatile machine, quite easily adaptable. And we've actually ended up with, a pretty good floor in there considering what we're working with. So far, so good. For us, I guess, everyone's probably in the same boat. Price of polished concrete isn't going up per square metre and everything else is. So, any gains you can get in production and productivity is where you're going to make your extra cream on the side. So we're planning to use a 700 and then possibly a bigger model as well. Obviously, the most time-consuming part of this process is your 30 grit at the start, your coarse cut. So I think we can get some big gains there. The 700 will be like the 680, just a really good all-round machine. It can do everything, and then we can go from there. But I think it'll add on a good thing for us.
Especially with this job just here, it's quite pokey. The conditions weren't great.
Yeah.
But it'd be really good to get it, open it up on an open slab and give it a real crack.
Yeah.
Chuck some singles on it.
Yeah, I think that's where you'd really see the biggest benefits on some bigger metre jobs where you can really wind it up and get it crunching.
Because it was doing it extremely easy.
Yeah. We didn't even... I don't even think we got over, halfway in the amps, so 25, 26 amps.
Yeah.
Which, it can pull up to 40 easy enough, so...
And still digging trenches.
There's a lot to give there still, which is good.
Yeah.
Which is exciting. So, it's all fairly stock standard as far as the polishing process went.
And look, they know what they're doing. They've obviously made machines before. Great operating machine. Everything feels strong.
Smooth. Especially for us, we're 4 hours from Melbourne, 6 from Sydney, so... and you get a lot of breakdowns and things, and you're out of action with machines for a while. I'm not saying this one's bulletproof, but I can just tell straight away it's going to be a lot more solid. And for us being out without a machine for a couple of weeks, it hurts you fairly bad. So we've always, we've got a few extra ones, but it's still, it'll be good if these things are built like the videos. I think they'll last a fair while and pay themselves off in that way pretty quickly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it probably doesn't sound right, but you just have to not be afraid to cut your teeth. I mean, you're going to make mistakes. We still make mistakes, but you have to be willing to put the time in to fix them, I think, because at the end of the day, your name's everything. And if you're not willing to put an extra couple of days in to get something right, it's going to be, there for 10 years or more. It's not much extra time in the scheme of the big picture. Yeah, I think you can only try your hardest and do your best with what you've got to work with, The reality of it is some floors are better than others, and there's a lot of variables in this game. So you just have to make mistakes and learn from them. And the quicker you learn from them, the less money you'll lose.
Exactly right. Even this job just here, we expect it to only be 3 to 4 days tops. And, we're here a week later, still, got another day ahead of us. So if it takes extra densifier, an extra grouting process, just little things to make it as best as possible. You know, it goes a long way. So no two floors are the same. All you can do is your best, and hopefully you get the best product out there for everyone involved.
Sure.
We feel super blessed, and I want to thank Works Plus and the Van der Veens for giving us the opportunity to use this machine. Yeah, we're just one of the lucky ones, I suppose, that just get to trial these things. We're planning to buy, it's whether we get one or two, which, is a good thing for these machines. We just absolutely love them so far, so it'd be good to open them up on some slabs and rip in.
Yeah,
love it.
For sure.
Thanks very much. So thank you very much. Cheers.
Appreciate it.
Huge thanks to Yarrod and Dylan and the guys at YDPC for taking the GK700 through its paces. The job it was on, the concrete had some placement issues, but the guys at YDPC and their experience really shone through, and they were able to produce a floor that the clients are going to be very happy with. It was great to get some feedback from those guys on the GK700 and how they feel it will work for them moving forward. Now that it's back in our hands, we're going to get some more hours on it, some more testing done, and then get it out to some sites to get some more on-site demos done. Keep your eyes open for the next one. See you then.